I'm Ada from Poison Rock, and today I have the pleasure to have with us Mike from Cancer Bat and Bat Sabbath. So it's a little bit confusing, but we start with Cancer Bat. Of course,
Yeah.
we had a guest around here in the interview. So just to beginning, Mike, I want to ask you about your musical background. So your journey into the music, because of course we know that you are in Cancer Bat, you have an amazing journey as well. But before all of this, how you started to, this connection with music?
With music, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so I started playing drums when I was about
Okay.
11 years old.
Okay. Really?
Um, yeah, I was very young. I got into music. I think there was always kind of some music playing, you know, in the home, in my house. My dad was into music.
Okay.
Um, it was it was the 80s, so we didn't have endless amounts of TV and screens in front of us. We just had to listen to tapes.
And the
We
radio
drive
when you were like,
yeah, exactly. We
yeah.
were, yeah, like, so, my parents, I grew up in the church, going to church.
Okay.
Um and we would go to like church with like a rock
Okay.
band playing, and so I always watched the drummer and got into it that way.
Yeah.
And then yeah, my parents always wanted, they just wanted us to play instruments, and drums
Okay.
was what I wanted. And so it was early age. And then, so early on, early days, I remember my dad had a Doors tape, and I really liked the Doors. I listened to the Doors a lot when I was,
Okay.
really young.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and he had Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band on vinyl, and a Creedence Clearwater Revival.
that's the classic, let's say,
Yeah,
hard rock, psychedelic music.
yeah,
Yeah,
of the 60s and 70s. Yeah, so he had that kind of
yeah,
stuff going on.
yeah.
Um, amongst all his like folky Christian kind
Yeah.
of music that he was also listening to.
Don't worry, my mom, she's a fucking Catholic, but she listens to Black Sabbath. So,
Okay, yeah,
or,
yeah.
or even worse, sometimes she may listen to Mayhem, but she doesn't know what they're talking about.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Um, but so I gravitated towards
yeah,
those kind of the more psychedelic
yeah.
music, and then I started playing drums, and kind of, around the same time I started skateboarding and getting into punk rock
So,
and
yeah.
that kind of stuff. And then when I was 13 years old,
Okay.
I met a good friend of mine. His name's Andrew Neufeld. He sings for Comeback Kid
Yeah,
now.
of course.
Yeah, so our parents still live like one block away from each other.
Really cool. Yeah, like a
Yeah,
friend. Yeah, of course.
yeah. He was over at my house yesterday, actually. Um, so we became really good friends
Okay.
skateboarding,
Yeah,
and always like my parents were very cool. They let me have drums in the house, and
yeah.
whenever
Like
friends would come over, we'd have amps and guitars, and
it
so
was
it'd
like,
be
yeah, like a kind of a para small, not party, but having fun, hanging out with friends, with the parents that say, shut down the amplifier.
yeah, no, no, they
Fucking that
were,
noise. Yeah.
yeah, no, they were very encouraging and accepting of it all. Um, and so then when I was 16, I
Yeah.
guess me and Andrew and I were both 16.
Yeah.
We joined this band called Figure Four,
Okay.
and there was two older guys that were the guitar player and bass player of that band.
Yeah.
Like, so as soon as we got out of high school, we
It's,
started to we were able to tour, and we started touring.
yeah, that's important when you were
Yeah,
so young, coming back today. I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I've been touring on, like, I'm 42 now, and I've been touring since I was about 18. So like whatever that is, 24 years, you
Yeah,
know?
basically all your uh, teenage, no, your adult age, kind of.
All my adult life. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been
yeah, the dream of
touring.
everyone. Like I'm an adult and I start to travel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You invented the term being a digital nomad. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
and of course I know that you. I know. I mean, I read that you joined Cancer Bath after 1 year of because let's say that this will be like the in 2024 will be like 20 years of Cancer Bath.
And yeah, technically it would be I
Technically, yeah,
joined,
kind of.
yeah. I joined
Yeah,
in 2005.
right, right,
I
yeah.
joined in 2005. So it'll be 19 years for me, but yeah, 20 years for the
20 years.
band.
It's
Yeah.
a big, like I said, something really huge and really big because, of course, if we go back to, like the first EP being, let's say, issued, the first album, I mean, there's a tons of album, there's a tons of EP, there's a tons of everything in the career of Cancer But of
Yeah.
course, because the last album, the full length, you released a Psychic Jailbreak.
Yeah.
I saw as well some single being released like these singles like We're Punks or wait, because this I have to read it because I don't pull down the hill by dogs. They are kind of pre-announcing something or just single drop there.
Oh, that is Fearbirds. That's not Cancer Bats. That's yeah, that song is our friend's band.
Okay. It's
Yeah. So we're just helping them out with our because we have
yeah.
like a small record label.
Oh yeah, that's
That
talking about
yeah,
that is important.
yeah. So we have our label Bat Skull Records.
Okay.
It's we're just kind of we've done the last bunch of Cancer Bats releases on it
On
and on our own Bat Skull label.
okay.
And so and then we've slowly started to like open it up to a few other bands
It's not, I
and
mean,
try and work with them.
and I mean, how this show? I mean, why did you choose to open like these, let's say, label some? Because it's not easy as well being in a band, managing your music, and as well
Mm-hmm.
that. So, I mean, I don't know, something happened that click on your mind and say, okay, we want to do things with by ourselves completely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like the doing things by ourselves kind of came about in 2017,
Okay.
maybe. Yeah, so quite a while ago, we kind of were like, we had parted ways with management. The label we were on was sort of falling apart
Yeah.
and not really in existence, I don't think. I mean, we
Yeah.
sent emails and
That
didn't get
was
responses, and so we were like, well, I guess this is over.
we have to stop.
Um, yeah, so and we've always been very hands-on as a band. We've always been very, very hands-on.
Why?
Um,
Do
just
it.
because
Yeah.
what's that?
I said DIY. I mean, do it yourself. It's always the best thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you're working in this especially in heavy music and
Yeah.
hardcore and metal and stuff, there's only so much
Yeah.
you know, there's only so much money to go around. There's only so much, and you have people like I've been touring for, I mean, in 2017, I
Yeah.
had been on the road for 15 years or whatever, and it's like, and and then I have people who've never toured in their life trying to tell me how to do it, and I was like,
Nah.
this is no, this doesn't work.
I
Like,
know it doesn't work. Yeah. And
yeah,
yeah.
so
You mentioned touring before. If Alexander is there, I don't know if she is back or is not. But before we start to speak about a little bit more the cancer, about different music, I want to ask about because you mentioned the life as well. You have another parallel project that I think I mean people knows it, but Italian people they doesn't know because we are fucked up with our brain sometimes. We are like we only listen to what is on the screen. And I could say
Yeah.
you have another project called Bad Sabbath. Of
Yeah.
course, it's clear. It takes inspiration, and let's say it's a tribute band to Black Sabbath. And
Yeah.
I don't want to even ask why you choose Black Sabbath because, come on.
Yeah. I mean, it's because
And
they're the best.
yeah, but of
Yeah.
course there was a moment because of course you can start to like record a fun in a basement or just in a garage in a box, but the step from going to like a tribute band and touring with a tribute band,
Yeah.
how did it happen?
So we got asked to
Okay,
do it was 2011, I believe.
okay,
There was a festival called Sonosphere
yeah,
in
Sonic Spirit,
England. Yeah, Sonosphere
figures
Festival.
out, yeah,
Yeah, it was Metallica's thing or whatever. So
yeah,
they we were playing. We had, a slot on Sonosphere in 2011, and they asked us if we'd be interested in doing some sort of cover set at
okay,
the end of the night, like
of your
late into the
performance, yeah,
night.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so it was and yeah, so we ended up doing it for the first time at Sonosphere
okay,
after Slipknot played. But
okay.
so like the headliner finished,
And then you
uh,
come back.
and then we played in a tent, and then there was DJs after us, but
Oh,
no
we
one.
did that as well, but okay.
Yeah, it was like, because I think it was just for the campers for like a late night party
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
So, but no one knew who it was. We just had in the program, it just said Bat Sabbath, and people, and there was rumors going around that it was the Foo Fighters playing, and
What? What?
yeah, but so it wasn't. It was us covering Black Sabbath songs.
I mean,
Um,
it's cool.
but it was awesome. It was like there was like, at 5,000 people in a tent. Like the first, we never done it before. We had Sisters of Mercy had played on that stage before
Okay.
us, before like during the day, and they had all their smoke machines.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we got them to like, they just filled the whole stage. Like I walked out onto the stage, I couldn't even see my drums. I was like, where am I supposed to go? Like it was great.
Drop the
But
stick and trouble something. The
yeah,
thing.
yeah. So I just found our places, and then started playing. I think we started playing Iron Man first
Yeah.
that night, and it was great. And then, you know, uh, people filmed it or whatever, and the videos got onto YouTube, and then um, friends in Canada were like, "This is great! Like, let's do this in Ottawa. Let's do this in Montreal. Let's do this everywhere."
And then it became,
And then it became a thing, and
yeah,
it just keeps. It's
people,
really it's yeah, it's really really fun to do.
yeah,
And it it's a great way to just kind of, we've once we kind of have toured a lot with Cancer Bats, we can kind of go back and play some really fun shows again,
yeah, because
uh doing something different.
yeah, that's because as well this with Bad Sabbath you will be back as well. I think next year in UK.
Yeah, in January, just in a few
January. I
weeks.
mean, like in a
Yeah.
few weeks. So
Yeah.
as well, this let's say this tribute band brings you brought you in Europe in UK, which isn't. I mean, a tribute
Yeah.
band going there. I mean, of course, it's cancer, but it's always like it's always something important. But we have back Alexander. Welcome back,
Hey.
Alexander.
Yay.
That's I mean, everyone knows you, but let's say we have Alexander from Ethereal Tomb with us because. Cancer Bat, or but in this case, Bad Sabbath, did a really recently a tour with
Yeah.
Ethereal Tomb at Black Mastiff. It is
Yeah.
with your
Yep.
So I want to ask you, I mean, Alex, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I just I had a couple days for the holidays and then
Cool.
kind of just straight back to scheduling us for 2024 because I was like pretty burnt out after the tour and I had to start booking like
Okay,
the
really?
2024 tours, and I was like, oh, I can't do this right now.
Yeah.
And then I got like super motivated on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day, and I'm like, I can't hit people up
No,
because they're not
you
gonna
have to
give
go to Uri. You have
they're
to go
not
to
gonna give
Uri.
a shit.
Yeah.
You have to go to
So
Yeah, they're not gonna reply. They're not gonna reply to your email or text or whatever.
yeah, so I'm like, okay, let's chill for a second, retain this energy, and that's kind of just where I'm at now.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
I
How
want,
are
I
you, Mike?
mean, this tour basically started in 21st of November and ended basically the beginning of December. It was all around Canada. And how did it go? I mean, because of course, I mean, some funny memories can we hear from you, Mike, from you, Alex. Some, I don't know, because we were all the time together. So we can speak about this tour, not me.
Yeah, it was just in Ontario and Quebec, like
Okay.
Southern Ontario as well, like
Okay.
all the love to Thunder Bay, but we didn't get all the way to Thunder Bay. Um so yeah, it was pretty short. I think it was 12 shows in total.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but they were all awesome.
Yeah.
It was great to have Ethereal Tomb with us. We've been watching their social media and
And
listening to
then,
tunes for the last while and being like, this band is crushing. And it's really nice to see like new bands that have hustle, that want to like actually get out there and do things. So props to Alexander and the Ethereal Tomb
yeah.
for
Thank you.
crushing it and pushing hard. When I saw on Instagram that they toured across Canada, like Canada's fucking huge. So when they toured across Canada in a car, I was like, respect, mad respect.
I didn't know you'd been like following us or watching us for that long.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't even remember how I got turned on to Ethereal Tomb, but I was just like,
Yeah.
I I I missed out on a Bat Sabbath tour. My kids were starting at a new schools and stuff, so I stayed home. And I met up with the guys, and I was like, I met up for 2 shows, and I was like, this band is fucking crushing it. And Liam was like, had been watching along too, kind of watching social media. I was like, we really need to tour with this band. They're fucking sick. And then he was like, oh yeah, totally. And yeah, so we've been fans for a while.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I mean,
We appreciate you guys.
we always knew that Ethereal Tomb is amazing. I mean, they are going really well. And what about you, Alex? About some memories about this, let's say, the couple weeks tour? Because I
Yeah.
remember you were pretty excited when we spoke about that you were going to with Bat Sabbath.
Yeah. I fucking love Black Sabbath, so and also one of the main inspirations for Ethereal Tomb. So I like was not only a fan of Cancer Bats, but I love Black Sabbath, so I watched them play basically front of stage or side stage every single
Yeah,
night.
I can agree.
And
I saw him every single night. Right, like stage left. There's Alexander.
I couldn't get enough. I could watch it for another if it was double the amount of dates, I could watch it for that much.
Like a month,
Yeah.
300 days. Yeah.
And and Toronto like has like a lot of venues and whatnot, but like it doesn't have a lot of shows that you can stage dive at.
Right.
So when the vibe was right during the Cancer Bat songs, I would just go stage dive because I was like, I got to take advantage of this.
Yeah, we would.
Um,
Yeah, we'd
no,
play a few Cancer Bat songs every night. So,
That's
which
cool.
is it's cool because it's like a different show almost.
Yeah.
You know, like the Bat Sabbath thing happens,
It's
and
a
that's like
process. It's
an
a whole
hour.
package. It's all package.
Yeah, it's a whole
But
yeah,
package, but it
yeah,
you
feels
see the
different
vibe
vibe.
really change.
Yeah, it always does. It's cool. It's great.
It's like you guys come back on and I would just watch a shift of people just like move forward because they're like,
Right.
oh shit. Like
Yeah.
maybe they know the Black Sabbath songs, maybe they don't, but they're like, I know I'm gonna know these songs, and
Yeah.
they make sure they're up front.
Yeah. 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 It's great. I feel like there was so I don't know if you know this, but Canada, like weed is legal in Canada now, and it was like we'd start the Sabbath set, and it was like the whole crowd was so stoned. Like it was like everybody went to the weed shop before the stoner set, you know, and like man, I don't know if they're all potheads or if it was just like, but the first three songs would be like kind of like just these stoned blank faces, and then they'd start to loosen up, and then I feel like by the time the Cancer Rat songs come in, it's like yeah, they know these ones, they're a little more upbeat, I guess, or whatever, and they would like yeah, the weeds worn off enough to like really let loose.
Yeah, if Supernaut didn't get them, it was always the intro to Symptom.
Yeah, yeah, that'll get them. Yeah,
Yeah.
So I mean, these two turned out to be really fun for us. I can see.
it was the best. It was
Yeah,
great.
definitely.
I
Yeah.
mean, and hopefully, why not one day sing in Europe? And so why don't bring Ethereal Tomb in Europe one time? So let's bring them in Europe.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, because introduce Ethereal Tomb to Norway, sorry, Finland, and that's
Finland.
Yeah, because that's when I heard speaking about. They told me about cancer bats. How do you know cancer bats? I said yes, I mailed them. Oh, you have to make a greetings for us, and they were really amazed by.
Yeah, Finland.
Yeah, Alexander.
What's up? What's up, Finland? Yeah.
I'm not kidding. There is some people that it's good, but it's kind of that. I think that fest is not huge, more underground music. It's a small place, small festival, but it's the best. Underground.
Which festival?
That fest. It's not a that metal fest. It's a Helsinki that fest. It's a really small underground, but you have all the best band, all the sick band. That's where the is. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
For maybe next year, this summer, or whatever. I think it would be.
But you're in Italy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you go to Finland often,
if I have the chance to go around to see some festival or some tour, yes. I even go with some musician that I know, because this is the only way to see music from here, at least from Sicily. We don't have a scene. We have an underground scene, but it's so small that we have one to play, which is like my room, basically.
Right.
Once we used to have the social centers, like where you have hardcore people but now the police closed everything, so we don't have no places, so that shit.
Yeah.
You have to go from Rome to Milan, and then for me it's easier to go in Finland, which is the flight. It's like $80-$90 dollar. Yeah, it's nothing. It's more than time. Yeah. So we have to take one on the next time. Cancer Bat and Ethereal Tomb in Europe. We have to do this.
Go to Finland.
Yeah, Finland, Scandinavian, Italy, maybe as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to book us in for Europe. Really? And I was the reason I was up late last night was because I was doing like the finances for the band, and like just I haven't done it for a while, so I was just like retracking everything in all the different like places. And I was like, okay, we're gonna do this US tour. We might like Cancer Bats invited us out to the East Coast at one point, so I'm just like, okay, where can I fit Europe in?
Yeah.
And but if y'all want to bring us out, that makes it a little easier.
There is some festival. Tell me, it's easy. Tell me, I'm gonna book it. I'm gonna write them. It's not. Yeah. It's a small place in Europe. It's not big as it seems, so it's easier to know everyone in the scene, kind of. So until we don't go to do some folk or whatever shit, we can do anything in the metal scene, and even the bigger.
All of Europe's like the same size as Canada.
Yeah.
And there's like
in Sicily,
whatever 15 countries or however many countries are.
If you just take if you do 10 hours of driving, you're basically in another nation. You speak German.
Yeah, exactly.
Speak Latvian. I don't know. It's weird. But it's cool, but it's weird.
It's the best.
Yeah, yeah,
It's absolutely the best.
sure.
Yeah.
Because but it's so overcrowded, that you don't
the
have
best.
space. Yeah, I have 15 building in front of my house. I don't have even space landscape. I'm just seeing what is one woman with the curtains putting things in the balcony. You see how close we are? We can hang our hands. Check out. But before just digging about it, because of course, like I was saying to you, Mike, talking about all the album full length EP about the Canterbury is gonna take 200 years and more.
Yeah, that's how long it took us to make them too.
Okay. I mean, come on, the next one is not gonna be here in 4,360 after whatever another god.
Yeah.
But I mean,
the apocalypse record.
Yeah, could be nice. But Psychic Jailbreak, in your opinion, really, what has different from all the other amounts, huge, full length?
I mean, the biggest difference is we didn't have a full-time guitar player.
Okay, yeah, that's the sound, the topic, the lyrics, it's all the time, all the same, the essence and the spirit of Canterbury.
In Psychic Jailbreak? Well, no, it's I like Jay, up till Psychic Jailbreak, we had Scott playing guitar. So he always put his influence and the Spark That Moves and even Searching for Zero. Were and I mean even like up to like Dead Set on Living and the last like 4 albums, I'd say.
Okay. So from
Jay from like Bears onwards, Jay had a very heavy hand and Jerry had a very big hand in writing all those songs.
Yeah.
But like with Psychic Jailbreak, it was pretty much all Jay.
Okay.
Like Liam and I are contributing and Liam's doing all the vocals and but like riff wise, and like getting songs started and stuff, that it was all Jay. So there was no Scott influence on the songs. So I mean, I'd say that would be the biggest difference.
Yeah.
On that album. And then because we were doing it all during the old pandemic, we didn't get as much time as together in rooms. It was like a lot of me by myself in this basement, trying to coming up with drum parts, and Jay at home in his room, in his house. Everybody's like, we're spread out all over the country. And
there wasn't the way to be together, of course. Yeah, that's things about the pandemic that we have all to experience.
Yeah,
this kind of affect as well the album outcome.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to writing again.
There is some ideas already, like some. I mean, I'm not saying that you start some ideas to start recording something new. Maybe I don't know in the next year or whatever to just sit.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we're starting to talk about it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we have a pretty busy year ahead of us.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll be back in Europe.
Yeah.
Next week. We'll be back in Europe in a few weeks in the UK, and then we'll be back. We'll be in Spain in May.
In May, yeah. Okay, this is a festival, maybe.
There's a festival in Barcelona. And then a few other shows.
Bring the swimsuit because it's fucking warm in May.
Right? I can't wait. Yeah. And we'll be in France, and then we're doing Desert Fest in London in May.
Okay, so a couple of gigs in May in Europe as well.
Yeah. And then we'll be in Europe again in like we have Brutal Assault in Czech Republic. And
cool. I was thinking to go there.
Sick.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. It's amazing. It's inside a fortress or something. You are basically stuck inside this fortress. It's fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have a good festival run starting to be put together for July and August,
Okay.
and then
So it's, let's say it's the year of the live shows, just to chilling a little bit and
yeah,
yeah, and have fun.
yeah, and then we'll start putting together songs kind of in between, I think, and
In between, just to start. Yeah.
yeah, just to get started, and
Yeah.
then yeah, and then probably in the fall we'll start really
To wrap.
focusing on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully record, end of 2024, beginning of 2025. Is
Yeah.
sort of my goal, but we'll see what
Yeah,
actually
I mean,
happens.
let's say that's a kind of an overview, just because already for as what you say, Michael, you have a lot of live shows, so
Yeah,
it's a commitment and it's not easy. I mean, you come back already from a tour, you're going out for another tour after the holidays,
yeah,
and I mean, it's always fun, of course, because being a musician, being on tour, I mean, it's beautiful. Like you
yeah,
said, you've been in touring for all your life, basically, for the majority of your life. So
yeah.
it's you're used to it.
Your perception of us a little bit.
Okay.
Touring with us and us being a smaller band, what was like the best thing that you saw us doing, and what was like something you'd recommend a band not to do that you saw us do?
I'd say the best thing, you're super easygoing. Very, I think when it comes to touring, it's very much like go with the flow. Um, and you guys were really good at that. You'd show up, at a reasonable time, and if you weren't gonna be there at a reasonable time, you'd let us know, which I appreciated. Um, I think the fact that you're uh sober is great because it means you're gonna be you played well every night. It was like enjoyable to watch every night. There was no too fucked up or too hungover, or
Hmm.
and there was no getting out of hand doing weird shit because of that sort of thing. So that I really appreciated. I thought I thought the I thought that I really appreciated Alexander wanting to reach out to these communities to offer tickets to kids who can't necessarily afford to come to these shows sometimes. Um, and I just think it's really cool. I like we tour across Canada, and we have a lot of great friends from Indigenous communities. We have a great friend who's like I think he's some sort of chief at Siksika First Nations in near Calgary, and so we've got to go play on their land, and 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 we got welcomed into that community, and it was amazing. And so whenever we're in near Calgary, we always invite them out and make sure that they have tickets and they can bring lots of people, and that's great. But I think it's really cool to you know there's just not that many Indigenous bands out there like representing their culture, and I think for these kids that are all super into metal, it's really cool to have um bands that they can look up to,
Yeah.
and see people uh from their community making music and getting a guitar and just doing it. We have Chuck Billy,
Yeah. Yeah.
Testament,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and I think, yeah, I mean, there's for sure other
Yeah.
Indigenous people out there making amazing music, but I mean, our like I said, our shows are 30-40% Indigenous kids. They love it. They love metal, so for them to have more of their community ripping on stage is just awesome.
Yeah.
So I just really appreciated that, because whatever we can do to help kids get into music, like that's what we need. I'm getting old. I want to keep doing this forever, but eventually we got to pass the torch.
And that's
So
and that's as why I think Alexander is doing a great job, because I don't know if you're aware of this, because in Europe we have so much misconception about everything about the indigenous community, because
yeah,
we still I say we, but let's say European people, so we still call it Indians. Let's forget about this shit. But so they have this idea that there was this summer happened something that, of course, I'm not gonna say one side or another side, but the side, of course, is clear. There is a black metal musician that, of course, Alexander knows too, Black Braid, and he was invited in Norway to play in a festival, which is an amazing festival, whatever. They kind of had a little, let's say, racist thing happen. They were basically thrown out from the festival, like the night they were playing. After that, go away. And there was, not from the festival, but from the security, which was really, really, I think, Nazi kind of way. And it wasn't good. I mean, it wasn't nice, because when people, everyone, especially they have these kind of pressuring and feeling like pushed and feeling put down from already in US, Canada, whatever place it. And they came in Europe, maybe trying to thinking that is, oh, well, it's a beautiful country, whatever. And they go to, for example, this beautiful festival. This shit sucks a lot. And the worst thing, it wasn't mainly for the festival, but for the people. They were continuing to talk privately about that, in a group chat, in Facebook group chat. And there was horrible, and I had to apologize, and I had people reaching out to me because I was in the festival telling me, Ada, what the fuck did you bring out to the festival? I was like, what is going on? So even people, that's why I said, like, I don't like that. Yeah. I have Poison Rock, and there is Alexander as well with us that is doing a lot of jobs. So if I have to take one side, we need to create more awareness, especially because here we have this fucking old mentality that we see on films, TV shows, that is not a fair one. So that's why Alexander is doing it. You're an activist, Alexander, so you're doing an amazing job. But I guess it's not easy being come on. I mean, you're still young, doing it all yourself, creating awareness on the social media in real life. So how you deal with that? And please bring awareness to these fucking European people, that the one that doesn't understand.
You know what? I thought it was like I thought it was gonna do a lot worse than it has done. Because our first record was kind of just like a metal record, like
Yeah.
And if you read into the lyrics a little bit, you'll be able to pull stuff out of it that is very similar to what I wrote after, like very like like for the lack of a better word, let's just say everything after the first record is very indigenous. But if you read into the first record, you'll be able to like pull some of that stuff out of it anyways. I just wasn't as forward about it. And I thought taking that hard shift was gonna be received a lot worse. Just because I mean, like I live in Canada and I know how people are. So, at first, like we were losing shit tons of followers when I
really,
when I made that switch. Yeah,
oh, I love it.
and
I think it's hard.
and but
I thought
then
you'd get more.
but then as time went on, like obviously we recovered. Like it wasn't like wasn't like the biggest L ever, but like we recovered the quote unquote numbers, if anyone, like I don't necessarily care about that, but
Yeah.
um and then it found its like the new music like found its audience, and it's just been a blessing ever since. And I'm very like, I don't like to use the word proud like very often, but for the lack of a better word, like I'm very proud of the music that I've made and the reception that it's had. And kids reaching out to me, well more than kids, but like I'm always most stoked on the kids reaching out to me, thanking me for like the representation, or that they want to start a band and they need advice or anything like that. So like if like regardless if anyone reaches out to me asking for a show or how to do a flyer or anything, I'm like so stoked to help anyone just get involved. And this like shift just worked out really well, and it didn't matter to me if it did or not, but here we are. And I'm very psyched on the communal opportunities and representation that it's brought.
Yeah, because it's like we're saying, it's because this episode that happened here in Europe, it doesn't have to happen anymore, of course. I mean, it will happen, we know, but it's not only with the indigenous community of, let's say, Native American, but I think it happens with any indigenous community. Because from all over the world, there has always been this, even from European indigenous community itself, because we have it somehow, somewhere. So it sucks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But, I was looking as well for some. There are I was mentioning before. These is I think is a rapper. It's called Northern Polar Bear. He's really tough and rough, and I would like.
It's called North End Polar Bear.
Yeah.
And they're Canadian.
Yeah, it's for this page here. Where is Northern?
Look them up.
Yeah, it's Cree. I think Cree.
Yeah,
my man.
Are you Cree?
Yeah.
So.
And he spoke a lot. He made a song when he was basically claiming about all what happened with the churches and Christianity, about the native kids, and he's really rough. And I want to bring him here in Poland Rock, even if we did a kind of rap sometimes, but it's important, and it will make it. But right now he's not having a good period, so I'm waiting for him to bring him up. But as well, there is not only just metal, there is another, let's say, musician composer called Darksiders. He's huge. He's like a DJ or something, and he's amazing. He's awesome. So all these people, they're doing really good. And if you feel, I don't know, venues with his music, and it's something that goes far beyond, because even, I mean, you can put anything in the music. This is the beautiful thing, because sometimes we forget there is music even in the reservation. I mean, is this true? There are like the Rest Festival itself.
Yeah, there was I think it happened kind of recently. It was I believe it was somewhere down in Arizona. There was like a full res metal festival that happened, and
is it at Window Rock?
I don't remember the location.
Yeah, there's like I think it's like Arizona, or there's Window Rock, which is, I think, is actually a big rock. I think that's the reservation's called Window Rock, or the area is called Window Rock, and then they do. I could be wrong, but I remember. I think they do like a big metal festival down there. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
I'm just like internet friends with one of the bands that played it. It's called Ends Embrace, Indigenous black metal band.
And on the social media front, there is another one that I asked them for an interview, because I like how they're putting the anger, because that's what would keep you going forward and deeper in your own music. It's called Wind Chimes. Wind Chimes. Yes,
I'm also good. Internet friends with Wind Chimes. Yeah,
they're really good. So they would be good as well, like putting all this music and their opinion outside. And and I think that at the moment, Alex, you are the one that really like representing everyone in the scene, because at least in the social media and music scene, you're the one that is really going for activism mainly. So that's all the time why when people ask me, say, we have Alexander in Canada, he's like good activist, is spreading the word. So as far as a European person lost in the middle of Sicily, I want to say thank you for doing that.
Well, thank you for being down.
I mean, we need that really, because I can stand another episode like that, because going from being one of the best festivals you loved, and then going that you don't even want to put the feet on that ground. I mean, and we both know how John is.
Yeah,
You,
I was just talking to John the other day actually.
yeah,
Um, he was selling his tour van, and I just asked him how much it was.
yeah, that's good.
And then yeah, we were talking for a bit, and he's gonna try and come to our New York show
Yeah.
in May.
Cool. I mean, that's cool because he did a lot, and people all the time think there is a lot. I don't know which everyone behind him or just doing work for him, but it's just him and his wife doing all the job, everything. He's just doing everything by himself.
Hmm.
And he did. I mean, it's the most viewed interview that we have. I mean, I don't know what happened when he jumped on the screen. It's a really like amazing musician because, like I told him at the beginning, it changed the course of at least black metal. At least black metal.
Yeah, like there's always like sorry, I don't want to say always been, but like there's been a good amount of like indigenous black metal for like more than a handful of years now. That kind of always pop up on my YouTube algorithm. And like yeah, he was like the first person to really like
Yeah,
r like have some like either like either you blow up or someone like a record label gives you the platform and you do well. And
yeah,
he was like the first kind of black metal, indigenous black metal to like have both of those at the same time.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because he kept, I think, the sound a little bit of the northern Norwegian, whatever, but he put his influences, he put his music, and he's not gonna stop, I think, to working on albums. Every time I told him, John, are you done? Because as soon as he put an album and there is another big band, he just covered that band and goes way more over the other band as sales or just being on the road. But he deserved that.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day too. It's like because we both like individual like I do like 99% of everything for Ethereal Tomb, and we were just talking about like how it's like kind of stressful financially, and having to find members to like do the shit like tour and stuff. It's yeah, it was funny.
I mean,
Right.
I'm like, that's weird. And of course, like, I mean, we have as well Mike here, of course. So that is what Mike in Cancer Belt, that just as well to bring a little bit of topic of Cancer Belt again.
Sure.
You've been, like I said, you perform with a lot of band. You toured in Sonisphere. You've been in Sonisphere in Download Festival too. Am I right?
In which festival?
Download,
Oh
download.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So just to just change a little bit, like let's say, don't want to say topic, but in general, there was a moment or in all this career that you really like cherish, that you had fun, or that was like the silliest, the fucked up moment ever.
Well, there was a very funny moment at we played Download Festival last summer.
Okay.
And we just got a new guitar player, Jackson Landry, and he's great. But so Download was like his sixth show with the band.
Okay.
His first time ever playing in Europe.
Okay.
And we played, there was so many people watching the set. It was amazing. It
Wow.
was it was crazy. And we walk on the stage and his guitar doesn't work. Like first note, nothing. And I was like,
Hey.
oh no. And I mean, he kept his cool and he like figured it out and got it working. It felt like an eternity, but it was maybe a minute, but that kind of pushed our set a little bit. And so we got to the end, or we got to like, we had, I guess, 3 more songs or 4 more songs. We had 4 more songs. And I guess the guys on the side stage that were running the stage were like, looked at Jackson and were like, hey, you got 5 minutes. We're like, okay. Well, Jackson in his brain was like, okay, cool. We played a whole song. And then he looked at Liam and he was like, hey, we got 5 minutes. I was like, we just played 3.5 minutes of those 5 minutes. We have 2 minutes.
Yeah, of course, you did the math right.
so then we ended up playing 2 more songs, so running us like significant amount over. And so like during Hail Destroyer, during the last song, the crew just started unplugging shit on us and like wheeling our amps off stage because they had to keep the schedule. We were like the first band on the stage. It was like,
Okay, yeah.
If we set everything back, it's just gonna be,
4 a.m. in the
it's gonna
morning.
be, yeah. So that was funny, and it ended up being a kind of a cool ending because all the guitars got turned off. I'm still playing drums. I didn't know what was going on, and you could just hear the crowd singing along.
Yeah,
It was super cool. So that was funny and fun.
and like you're like,
And then
yeah.
I was gonna say, and then we got all these people being like, "I can't believe Download tried to shut you down," and we had to like write them all back and be like, "Oh, we fucked up. Like it was us. Like it was not Download. Were pretty cool. We went way over."
Yeah, of course. But I mean, being always the first band is not always easy. Being a first band in a festival is not easy. You have to like really be tight on the time, because if you go late, everything is pushed.
Yeah.
So yeah. But in general, let's say hypothetically, there would be like some band or something that you, or some festival, not to say festival, some band or something that you would like to play, or country. I don't want to say like just let's prep, because I usually have to do this question, and Alexander knows this question as well. Like if you have to choose blah 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 blah, pick one place, just in general, just to be really chill out. Like if you have to, like, I don't know, choose. I don't know. I would like to play with that in that place. Do you have any?
I mean, I used to always really want to go to Russia.
Okay.
And there is a part of me that still wants to go to Russia, even though it's super fucked right now, and obviously we're not going there.
Okay.
And but we've never been to Russia. I always did want to go to Russia, but other than that, I'd like to do more Asia touring. Like we actually played in China, and we've played in Japan, but we've never played anywhere else in Asia. So I think that would be very cool.
Yeah, but
Indonesia and Indonesia would be great. They have some good festivals over there.
Yes.
What's it called? Thailand and the Philippines. The Philippines would be great. So
that's and some band that you would like, even as well, if they are like not anymore playing, let's say, that you would like to join you on a, let's say, hypothetical
Asian tour.
Yeah,
Asian tour. Cancer Bats, Ethereal Tomb. We're good to go.
We want an opening act.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Yeah.
So Ethereal Tomb, a Cancer Bats headlining, but who are the opener?
Who are the openers? Oh,
I
don't know.
Even new bands. Let's give some highlights to new bands. Shout out to the new bands.
Who I'd also love to tour with is Zulu. I think that band rules.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, we played a couple festivals with them this past summer, and they were amazing. But I think that new world, or what's it called, the New Tomorrow, I think that might be like my favorite album of 2023. So shout out to Zulu.
And
we would become the openers of Zulu on the tour.
What's that? Yeah, it would probably be Ethereal Tomb before Zulu.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Alexander, there would be someone that you would put like as the opener.
But
I don't know. We're not very big, so we kind of just become the opener automatically. But
let's say it's better to give a shout out some of these new bands that are, for example, reaching you out.
Honestly, I saw Fuming Mouth, who I know Cancer Bats is going on tour with in 2024. I saw them with Final Gasp and Devil Master. and instant fan. Can't remember the last time I saw a band that I had never heard anything from and was such a fan of.
Cool.
Fuming Mouth is really fucking sick, and
I'm very excited to do shows with them.
yeah, they're so
Yeah.
dope. And I'm a fan of Devil Master, and I'd never heard Final Gasp either, and they're sick as fuck. But Devil Master stayed at our engineer's house, and sorry, my cat's beating the shit out of me right now.
Come on, bring the cat in the interview. More the matter.
The guitarist for the lead guitarist for Devil Master, Francis, told me that he's a fan of Ethereal Tomb when I met him.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, oh, what the fuck? That is so sick.
Yeah, fun everywhere. I told you. I always I'm always right about that. And about like during the live, Mike, how you in general set up the let's say the track list for the evening, the day, whatever. Because you have a lot of
It's a lot of albums, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we there's definitely some songs that we kind of have to put in, and that we want to put in, but there's definitely the hits that people want to hear.
Oh, of course.
And then, I mean, honestly, often it's we play, Jackson's fairly new to the band, so we gave him a list of 20 songs to learn. So kind of right now we've only got about 20 or so songs that Jackson knows.
So
and we can kind of so I mean, as time goes on, I'm sure we'll learn a few more, and as tours go on, but there was a 20, like, in this last record cycle and touring, because we've been kind of flopping around with guitar players a bit. It was a lot of just like, okay, we just need to learn this set. This is the set. These are the new songs we're gonna play. These are the classics we need to play. So I always like playing more of the new songs, because you kind of write an album and you think it's your best stuff, and you want to play it.
And of course, before we just gonna end, Alexander, if I'm right, made a good question that we were I mean that we hadn't had to answer before. It was about an advices for new bands or something like that.
Actually, I did want to bring that question back because I was interested to hear. We talked about the positive, but we didn't talk about the negative.
Yeah. So I was wanting to get back to it too, because I had thought about an answer while I was drinking my smoothie. I think you also kind of brought up, so my thing is that I think you need more merch. More merch items. I think you only had one shirt on the tour. One shirt and the LP, and maybe
we had cassette tapes, but they sold out.
Oh yeah, cassette tapes and the LP and one shirt and maybe a long sleeve for like the first show, and then it was gone or something like that, or a hoodie. Yeah. I think more merch items is like, I think kids will buy merch from you guys. I think you guys could be a very strong merch band. You have a very cool aesthetic to the band, with a message, and then, when you're talking about, talking to that dude in New York or whatever about, the financials and trying to make it all work and stuff like that, the more merch you can sell, it's a bit of an investment going in, but that investment will pay off. And then you have a bit more financial freedom to do what you want, because you're, theoretically, you're putting more merch into the world. You're selling more merch. You get a bit more money. You can do a bit more things.
Do it.
Yeah, and Liam told me the same thing, and while we were on tour, at the end of the tour, I can't remember, but he told me the same thing, and I actually have 4 different shirts, like
sick,
like all ready to go.
Yeah, great.
That are like 2 of them are printed, and then two of them are still getting printed. So
Right.
we're gonna put them up online because we're not playing like too many shows before the tour in the US.
Yeah.
And then we'll take whatever,
Yeah.
is left with us.
Sick. Yeah. Yeah. I think also, just, getting that and like making sure you have size runs so that everyone can buy, like if you ever, Liam's the best at it too. Like if you ever want to talk to Liam about okay, how many extra larges should I buy and how many smalls and all those things. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, at least he knows Cancer Bats fans for the most part. So I feel like, and making like there's some big boys in the Indigenous community. So you got to make the triple extra large, for the Joels and stuff like, just having that merch available for people is sometimes you end up sitting on it for a while and it sucks because it's like costs money to make, but at the end of the day you'll sell it all for sure. Like I'm 100% positive that you guys have the ability to sell lots of merch, and that's where bands like our bands actually make some money.
Yeah.
So and then the trick is when you're touring in tight spaces is you go to the like an Army Navy surplus store or whatever and buy those thick canvas like duffel bags, like Army duffel bags.
Yeah.
And then you fill those with all your merch so you don't have boxes. And then you can sleep on them.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You can okay, I got a duffel bag on my lap or whatever, but like it's better than a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just stuff it down and whatever. And then they get smaller too as you sell.
Dude, yeah, when we did the tour in the hatchback this summer, I was like, this merch needs to fucking sell. Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Before end, because we have 5 minutes left.
Okay.
As a good ending is like the question that Alex made you about an advice to all the young band.
Mm-hmm. From me?
Yeah.
Advice to young bands? Oh geez, I don't know. Just get up and get going. I don't know. Like the more hustle you put into it, the more things will happen. So if you don't want to work hard on it, no one else is going to work hard on it, right? Like, the reason we noticed and got into Ethereal Tomb was because Alexander's hustling and making sure that they're have great Instagram posts up every day. And I mean, the tunes obviously shine through, but there's so much noise, in the world in the world now. Right. And it's like, we only have these fucking stupid social media platforms to get it out there. There's no one's going to hang out at the record store and just having someone tell them you gotta wade through so I think it's just like if you can get up and hustle and that was Cancer Bats, or especially early days, was like every day was just working on Cancer Bats. To get it to a place where and we practice 7 days a week, 5+ hours a day. It was just, and then if we weren't practicing, we were playing show.
Yeah, that's as well how me and Alexander met. It was through TikTok, I guess, that it was putting commitment and effort, and here we are, basically bringing Ethereal Tomb into Europe. That's what we want to do.
Trying.
Yeah, that's my main goal here, and with So I mean, before we end, I want to say really thank you, because this turned out to be like a multi-topic interview. I don't know even which names give to this interview, like a talk about, I don't know. I will ask you for some advice to you, Alexander.
Okay.
It was really a pleasure meeting you, Mike. Really
very nice to meet you too.
And for this for me it's evening. It's almost dinner time. It's and for you it was breakfast time.
Yeah.
So I wish to see up to see you in Europe, maybe at Brutal Assault, and with Alexander we'll keep in touch. And really, I wish you good rest of the days, guys. And
Thank you very much. You too.
Thank you.
and greetings to the cat as well, if he's there, she or he is there.
My low queen's right here.
Where is it? Hi. Which is her name?
Sedona.
Sedona. Hi, Sedona. Bye bye. Okay, so have a special and have a good rest of the day, and always, Alex, be always as you are, like someone that people get referred to, and Counterpart, be always the love of Finnish people. I don't know what they have with you.
Well, we just played Finland with Kavela Attack, and it was great. And then apparently it worked. Apparently people in Finland are very in.
I don't know. They are very into the underground music. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I say, wish you good evening, a good rest of the day, and Happy New Year. But this is
Happy New
in the
Year.
New Year. But yeah, Happy New Year, and
Happy New Year.
let's leave this year behind.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Fucking hell.
Well, thanks for having me,
It's
and
always a pleasure.
I'll talk to you soon, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to you soon, buddy. Great to see you. Happy New
Peace.
Year.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye. We look
Okay,
like all
goodbye.
the old people. Happy New Year. And how is the weather outside? It's raining.
It's cold. Snowy.
Here it's warm.
Yeah, no. We have winter. We have white Christmas.
We don't
You
have
got that prairie. You got
nothing.
that prairie winter.
Yeah.
We don't have anything. We have just the shitty weather. See you soon, guys.
Okay,
All right,
see
peace,
you,
guys.
girl. Bye.
Bye-bye.